Hi dear students, good morning. Welcome to my class. Today I would like to discuss stem cells. Okay, in this class I would like to discuss stem cells. What are stem cells and what are the different types of stem cells and what are the applications of stem cells. Okay, I will give you an introduction on this. Stem cells. Stem cells are unspecialized cells that are able to develop into many different. Stem cells are unspecialized. Unspecialized means they cannot do any special functions, and this stem cells can able to develop into many different cell types. That means the stem cell have a potential to develop into many different types of cells in the body. Okay, at the right condition. Okay, if you are providing right condition, right environment, suitable environment, it may be in the body or inside the body or a laboratory, the stem cells divide to form more cells called daughter cells. Okay, at the right condition, at the right environment, maybe in the body or in a laboratory, the stem cells divide into form more cells called daughter cells. And these daughter cells become either new stem cells or specialized cells with a more specific function such as blood cells, brain cells, heart muscle cells, or bone cells. Okay, in this figure you can see this is a stem cell, and this stem cells is a unspecialized cell. Okay, unspecialized cell. This stem cells cannot do any specific function. Okay, but this stem cell have an ability to form more cells. Okay, more different type, different types of cells. Okay, this stem cell having different type, and this stem cells undergo can form that will form new cells called daughter cells, and these daughter cells either maybe a new stem cells, okay, new more stem cells, or is undergo for differentiation and form many different types of cells. Here you can see in the maybe neural cells or epithelial cells or blood cells or muscle cells, like that. Okay, that means stem cells are unspecialized cells and they can able to develop into many different types of cells, many different cell types in the body. Okay, and there is no other cells in the body that can able to generate new cell type. Okay, no other cell in the body has the natural ability to generate new cell type. Only this stem cell having ability to generate new cell type, and this stem cells serve as a repair system for the body, and in some case they can also fix damaged tissue. Okay, these stem cells serve as a repair system. Okay, if any damage is there, that this stem cells will repair this damaged tissue and this repair this body, and that can also helps to fix the damaged tissue. And generally compared to the normal cells, the all stem cells have three general attributes. Okay, all stem cells have three general attributes. One is they can divide and renew themselves for long period. Okay, the stem cells can divide and renew themselves for long period. That means they can divide and renew themselves for long periods, and they are unspecialized, so they cannot do any specific function in the body. Okay, the stem cells, second one is they are unspecialized, so they cannot do any specific function in the body. Okay, the stem cells cannot do any specific function in the body like the muscle cells do in functions the body, and neural cells having specific function like that. This stem cells does not have any specialized function, and this stem cells having having the ability to give specialized cell types such as muscle cells, blood cells, and brain cells. These are the three general attributes of stem cells. Okay, these are the general properties of stem cells. One is that they can able to divide and renew themselves. They aren't specialized, so they cannot do any specific function in the body, and they can give rise to specialized cell types such as blood cells, muscle cells, brain cells, etc. And there are two main types of stem cells. Okay, there are two main types of stem cells. The one is embryonic stem cells, and second one is adult stem cells. Okay, there are two types of stem cells. Mainly two types of stem cells is the embryonic stem cells, is the adult stem cells. Apart from this, there is another one, reprogrammed cells. Stem cells is that is known as induced pluripotent stem cell. Mainly there is only two type of stem cells, either embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. And apart from that, other one stem cells also is the induced pluripotent stem cells. Okay. Next slide we'll discuss about adult stem cells, embryonic stem cells, and application of stem cells and induced pluripotent stem cells. First we can see the embryonic stem cells. Okay, first we can see the embryonic stem cells. Embryonic stem cells are found in the inner cell mass of the blastocyst. Okay, embryonic stem cells are found in the inner cell mass of the blastocyst. Okay, and blastocyst means it's an early stage of developing embryo lasting from 4th to 7th day after fertilization. Okay, this embryonic stem cells are found in the inner cell mass of blastocyst. Okay, and these blastocysts are the early stage of developing embryo lasting from 4th to 7th day after fertilization. And scientists have managed to grow these embryonic cells in the lab, and they named it as embryonic stem cells. Okay, we know that the sperm will fuse with the egg and form go for fertilized egg, and after the fertilization form fertilized egg, and after the fertilization this fertilized egg will start development, and after 4th to 7th day after fertilization there will be a structure. There will be an early stage of developing embryo that is called blastocyst. Okay, this is the blastocyst, and is having a trophoectodermal cells. Okay, outer covering is a trophoectodermal cells, and then there is an inner cell mass. Okay, this inner cell mass contain the embryonic stem cells. This embryonic stem cells, the scientists were grown this embryonic stem cells in the medium. Okay, and this blastohectodermal cells, blastocyst hectodermal cells that contribute to the placenta and the inner cell mass in the inner embryonic cell mass that become a complete baby. Okay, this inner cell mass become a complete baby. That's why it's this inner cell mass having the ability to become every cells in the body. Okay, this inner cell mass, that means embryonic cells have a ability to become every type of the cells in the body, like skin cells, muscle cell, liver cells, or brain cell, etc. Okay, blastocyst inner cell mass is embryonic stem cells, and these embryonic cells have the ability to become every types of cells of the body. And because of this ability means the ability of embryonic stem cells to form every type of cells of the body, these embryonic stem cells are called pluripotent. Okay, they're called as pluripotents. Okay, pluri means a lot and potent means the ability, so pluripotent means very capable. Okay, that means this embryonic stem cells, they're having the ability to become any type of cells of the body. And there are two special features of embryonic stem cells. They can divide in an unlimited way under certain condition. and they can become all type of cells of the body. They can be this embryonic cells, stem cells can become all type of cells of the body. And about after about a week after fertilization, the embryonic cells gradually lost their pluripotency and gradually become the various tissues and organs. Okay, after fourth to seventh after day of fertilization, uh, we'll get the blastocysts, and after the 1 week, okay, these embryonic cells gradually lost their pluripotency and they gradually become the various tissues and organs. Okay, and if you are given the right growth condition, okay, if you give the right growth condition, then we can arrest the embryonic stem cells pluripotency. Okay, we can stay their pluripotent state if we provide right growth condition. Okay, if you provide right growth condition, we can stay their pluripotent state. And this embryonic stem cells offering an promising and exciting opportunities like possibility of growing organs in the lab. Okay, these embryonic stem cells can use for the organ cloning. Okay, organ cloning, some research is there, not in the not using human embryonic stem cells, some other or some other organisms, embryonic stem cells are used to for this organ cloning research like that. So these are the embryonic stem cells. Next, we can see the adult stem cells. Okay, we can see the adult stem cells. Okay, these adult stem cells are the rare population of undifferentiated cells. Okay, adult stem cells are a rare population of undifferentiated cells. This adult stem cells are undifferentiated cells, and these adult stem cells are also known as somatic stem cells or resident stem cells. Okay, somatic stem cells named because of this. Some adult stem cells are found in juvenile stage and adult stage. Okay, these adult stem cells are found in adult stage and juvenile stage, but the embryonic stem cells are found in only embryonic stage, but this adult stem cells are found in juvenile and adult stage. That's why it's called somatic stem cells, and it's also called resident stem cells. Okay, it's also called resident stem cells because these stem cells, adult stem cells, reside in a differentiated organ or tissue. That's why this is also called resident stem cells. Okay, that means these adult stem cells reside in or a differentiated organ and tissue. That's why it's also called resident stem cells. And these adult stem cells are located in a special structure called niche in an organ. Okay, these adult stem cells are located in an organ or organism in a specialized structure called niche, and this niche maintain the local microenvironment that regulate the growth and development of the stem cells. That means this niche will provide suitable environment to the stem cells that regulate the growth and development of stem cells. Okay, this niche will provide suitable environment that will regulate the growth of the stem cell and the development of stem cells. And the adult stem cells have the capacity to self-renew themselves. Okay, they have the ability to self-renew. Okay, they will do the self-renew themselves, and they can be differentiated into limited number of mature cell types. Okay, they can also able to differentiate into limited number of mature cell types. Okay, the adult stem cells have the capacity to self-renew themselves. Okay, they will, for this adult stem cell will be divided and form new adult stem cells, and they can also give differentiated differentiated mature cell types. And the main role of this adult stem cells is to maintain the tissue homeostasis. Okay, maintain the tissue homeostasis. That means this adult stem cells helps this tissue to make in a steady state. That means if any loss of cells will be there, any damage of cells will be there, this adult stem cells will repair that tissue, and that will make balance in the tissue and organ. And normally the adult stems also are in the quiescent stage in the organ. Okay, these adult stem cells are the quiescent stage means there is an inactive state. Okay, that means this adult stem cells will be in the inactive state in the organ or tissue when, if any loss of cells or damage or any damage in cells will occur in the tissue or organ, that time this adult stem cell will be activated, and that will be proliferate and differentiate, and that will produce the cell types. Okay, if any damage of cells or any loss of cells is occur, that time this adult stem cell will be activated from the quiescent stage, and that will produce new cell types. Okay, and many organs, the many tissues, these adult stem cells are found. Okay, adult stem cells are present in many tissues including blood, intestine, skin, muscle, fat, brain, heart, etc. Okay, these adult stem cells are found in many tissues like intestine, blood, skin, muscle, fat, brain, and heart tissues, etc. And unlike embryonic stem cells, these adult stem cells only generate certain types of cells. Okay, that means these adult stem cells can only generate certain types of cells. Okay, they can only generate certain types of cells. For example, the stem cells which is found in the liver cell, they can only make more liver cells. Okay, they can, if any adult stem cell is found in the liver cell, then adult stem cells found in liver, that adult stem cells can only make more liver cell. Okay, they can only make that type of cell. So this adult stem cells can only generate, they can only make certain types of cells. Okay, this is the adult stem cells. Next, we can see the induced pluripotent stem cells. Okay, induced pluripotent stem cells, IPS cells, are a type of pluripotent stem cell that is derived from adult somatic cells. Okay, these induced pluripotent stem cells are derived from adult somatic cells. And here, to develop the IPS, okay, to develop the IPS, the somatic cells have been genetically reprogrammed to an embryonic stem cell like state. Okay, here the somatic cells will be genetically reprogrammed to get IPS with an embryonic stem cell like state. Okay, that means some embryonic stem cells have the ability of pluripotency. So the induced pluripotent stem cell having the property of embryonic stem cell. Okay, for getting this IPS, this somatic cells have been genetically reprogrammed, okay, to embryonic stem cell like state. Okay, and we know that somatic cells will express certain type of genes, and that will be different from the embryonic stem cells. Okay, somatic cells will express certain genes, and embryonic stem cells also express certain special type of genes. Okay, to convert the somatic cells into embryonic stem cell like stage, we need to forcefully express certain additional genes and factors. Okay, that means to get embryonic stem cell properties, certain genes and factors were forcefully expressed in somatic cells to get induced pluripotent stem cells. Okay, to get the embryonic stem cell properties, certain genes and factors should be forcefully express. Forcefully means we have to use certain techniques to express. Okay, normally these genes are not expressed in the somatic cells, but we have to forcefully express that certain genes in that somatic cells to convert them into embryonic stem cells stage. That means to make them induced pluripotent stem cells. And then we have to discuss what is the purpose of this IPS. We know that embryonic stem cells research and research in embryos in human embryonic stem cell is there is some restriction. There's some legal restriction, so we can convert this the possibility to get the embryonic stem cell is the conversion of induced pluripotent stem cells to conversion to we will convert the somatic cells into the induced pluripotent stem cells. Then the purpose of this induced pluripotent stem cell is that the induced pluripotent stem cells that derive from blood or skin that have been reprogrammed back into embryonics like pluripotent state that enable to development of unlimited source of any type of human cell needed for therapeutic purposes. Okay, that means these iPS cells can able to synthesize various types of cells that cells we can use for the therapeutic purpose. For example, we can synthesize cancer-free blood using this IPS. That blood we can use to treat leukemia, and we can synthesize beta cells from this induced pluripotent stem cells, and that beta cells we can use to treat this diabetics, and we can synthesize. We can this IPS can program. IPS can develop into neuronal cells, and that neuronal cells we can use for neurological disorders. Okay, these are induced pluripotent stem cells. Induced pluripotent stem cells are the type of pluripotent stem cells that derived from adult somatic cells, and this induced pluripotent stem cells having the ability of embryonic stem cells. Okay, embryonic stem cells are the pluripotent stem cells. So the induced pluripotent stem cells have the properties of embryonic stem cells, and certain genes are needed to be forcefully expressed in the somatic cells to convert into them induced pluripotent stem cells. And this induced pluripotent stem cells can develop various types of cells, and that cells we can use for the human therapeutic cell-based therapeutic purpose. And for example, treating diabetes, we can synthesize, we can develop this beta cells, and cancer-free blood we can develop from IPS, and the neurons can be developed from the IPS, and that neuron we can use for treating neurological disorders. Okay, this is the induced pluripotent stem cells. And now in this slide we can see the applications of stem cells. Application of stem cells. Okay, we told that there are different mainly two type of stem cells is the embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. And another one of stem cells also is the induced pluripotent stem cells. Now we can see what are the application of stem cells. What are the application of stem cells? The first application is we can use this stem cell to understand how diseases occur. Okay, we can use this stem cell to understand how disease occur. Okay, the researchers can watch how the stem cells are formed into bones, bone cells, heart muscles, nerves, and other organs and tissue. And researchers can better understand how disease is developed and how the conditions is developed by watching these stem cells. Okay, so the stem cells can use to understand how diseases occur. And the second application is to study the generation of healthy cells to replace cell affected by the disease. We already told that this stem cells having the repairing role in the body. So the researchers can understand how the stem cell repair the damaged tissue in the body by watching these stem cells. Okay, That's to study the generation of the stem cell will generate new cells to repair the damage. So researchers can use this stem cell to study the generation of new cell to repair the damaged tissue. And the third one, the researchers can use this stem cells to study new drugs safety and effectiveness. Okay, this researchers can use the stem cells to study the safety and effectiveness of a drug. Okay, how this drug is safe and how much it will be affect the cells that we can study using this stem cells. And the fourth one is that there is one of the important application, that's the cell-based therapies. Okay, cell-based therapies. We are told that the stem cells can stem cells can form various types of cells. Okay, various types of cells. So we can take this stem cells for the generation of cells and tissues for cell-based therapies. Okay, we can use these stem cells to synthesize to form the various type of cells, and that cell we can use for cell-based therapies. Okay, and this tissue for cell-based therapies is also called as tissue engineering. Okay, tissue engineering. For example, we can use this stem cells for synthesizing neuronal cells, and that we can use for this to treat the stroke, and we can use for the skin. We can synthesize skin that we can use for treating the burns, and if any heart disease there, that we can use that to treat that heart disease. We can use the cells derived from the stem cells, and any cell-based cell damage problem, that time you can synthesize that cells from these stem cells, then that cell we can use to treat these diseases. Okay, and the fifth one is the organ cloning. Okay, in this here, the organs were cloned from embryonic stem cells prepared by somatic cell nuclear transfer technique, and that organ we can use for the transplantation. Okay, using the embryonic stem cells that's prepared by somatic cell nuclear transfer technique, that we can clone organs, and that organ we can use for transplantation. This organ cloning is one of the research area. Now presently so many works are going there, but there is a lot of ethical issues is there. So there is a problem with this embryonic stem cell research. So organ cloning is under research. So these are the application of stem cells. Okay, so I hope you understood the stem cells and what are the different types of stem cells, what are the application of stem cells. I hope you understood this class. Thank you for listening.